Hello everyone. In the previous classes we have discussed about the mode 1 programming and mode 2 programming of timers. So in today's class we are going to discuss the counter programming. So we have used timer of the 8051 to generate time delays. These timers can also be used as counters for counting the events that are happening outside the 8051 microcontroller. So the timers, remember here, the timers can also be used as counters, which are going to be used for counting the events that are happening outside the 8051 microcontroller. As far as use of timer as an event counter is concerned, whatever we have discussed until now, the programming of timers in the previous classes, the same thing is going to be applied for the programming it as a counter. So whatever that we have learnt earlier, everything is same in the programming of counter also, but except the source of the frequency. Only the source of frequency is different here. So when the timer or counter is used as timer, that is whatever we have discussed already, the 8051's crystal oscillator, crystal is used as the source of the frequency. Now when it is used as a counter, a pulse outside the 8051 that increments the TH and TL register. So this is the difference here. That is, when it is used as a counter, the pulses outside the 8051 that is going to increment the TH register and TL register. So in the counter mode, notice that the T mode and TH and TL registers are same as for the timers that we have discussed already. In counter mode also, the T mode register, the TH register and TL register are same that we have already used in timer section. They even have the same names. The names are also going to be the same. The modes are also going to be the same. C/T bit T mode register, that is counter or timer bit in T mode register, decides the source of the clock for the timer. Now recall from the previous classes, we have used the C/T bit in the T mode register, which decides the source of the clock for the timer. If C/T is equal to 0, the timer gets pulses from the crystal. So we have used C/T bit and that we have made that bit as 0. So in that case, the timer gets the pulses from the crystal. Now here, when C/T bit in the T mode register, when we make it equal to 1, when C/T, this bit in the T mode register, when it is equal to 1, the timer is used as counter. So remember here, when you want you to use the timer as a counter, you have to make C/T bit as 1. Then only you can use it as a counter. So it gets the pulses from outside the 8051 microcontroller. Therefore, when you make C/T is equal to 1, the counter counts up as pulses are fed from pin number 14 and 15. As you can see from the table, pin number 14 and pin number 15. These pins are called as T0, that is timer 0 input, and T1, that is timer 1 input. So these two pins belongs to port 3. Remember here, the port 3 is a multifunction. It has multifunction pins. So these two bits, pin number 14 and pin number 15, is a part of port 3. So P3.4 and P3.5. So in this case, timer 0 when C/T is equal to 1, pin P3.4 provides clock pulse and the counter counts up for each clock pulse coming from that pin. Similarly, for timer 1, when C/T is equal to 1, each clock pulse coming in from P3.5 makes the counter counts up. So we will see an example. So example number 1. Assuming that clock pulses are fed into pin T1, that is timer 1. Write a program for counter 1 in mode 2 to count pulses and display the state of the TL1 count on port 2, that is P2, which connects 8 LEDs. So the program statement is assuming that clock pulses are fed into timer 1. So clock pulses are fed from outside to the pin timer 1, that is P3.5 or pin number 14. So your task is to write a program for a counter 1 in mode 2. So there are two counters, same as two timers, timer 0 and timer 1, same way counter 1 and counter 0 and counter 1. So write a program for counter 1 in mode 2 to count the pulses, how many pulses are applied externally. Then display the state of the TL1 register count on port 2, which connect to LEDs. Now first you have to program T-mode register. So as per the given statement, you have to load a value into T-mode register. So it has asked counter 1. So counter 1 means higher part of the T-mode register. So make C/T is equal to 1. Then it is mode 2. They have asked mode 2. Mode 2 value is 10. M1 is 1 and M0 is 0. So when you program this, the code is 01100000. So timer 0 or counter 0, all bits are 0 only. Lower part of the T-mode register, only consider higher part because they have asked counter 1. So counter 1, to use it as a counter 1, C/T bit must be 1. So C/T of the counter 1 must be made 1. Then mode 2, for mode 2, M1 is 1, M0 is 0. So 10. So 0110. So this makes counter 1 mode 2 C/T bar T equal to 1. So it will get the pulses externally. Now clear the TH1 register first. Move TH1 comma #0. Set bit P3.5. So first, to generate a clock pulse, you have to make the P3.5 bit high. So why this is done? Because notice in the above program the role of the instruction set bit P3.5. Since ports are set up for output when 8051 is powered up. So whenever the microcontroller is powered up, ports are set as output ports. So the default value is 0. So we make P3.5 an input port. To make it an input port, you need to write high, that is logic 1, into that port pin. So in the other words, we must configure, that is set high, the T1 pin, that is P3.5 pin, to allow pulses to fed into it, that is P3.5, which is nothing but a T1, that is timer 1 or counter 1, that must be made high. Now next step, set bit TR1. So this is same as the previous programming concepts, that is start the counter now. So counter starts counting. Whenever whatever the pulses that coming from the outside, it will start counting that one. It will count up. Then the value that will be stored in the TH1, and you also get, as it is a mode 2 programming, a copy of that one you also get it into TL1 register. So that's why take that one a copy of that one into accumulator, because you cannot directly transfer the TL1 register into port 2. Any value if you want to copy into any ports, then that must be first copied into accumulator, then it has to be copied into ports. That's why first, whenever counter is started, the value actually counted in TH1 register. As it is a mode 2 programming, the same copy of that one is available in TL1 register also. That's why copy of that one is moved into accumulator, and from accumulator into P2 register, because it is asked to count on P2 in the statement. Then monitor the TF flag. So whenever, as it is mode 2, it starts counting from 00 to FF. Whenever from FF it rolls over to 00, TF flag becomes 1. So keep on doing this step, JNB TF1 back. So get a copy into accumulator, send it to port, then monitor the TF flag. When it becomes FF, it rolls over to 00, TF becomes 1. So that time it comes out of the loop. So stop the counter now by using clear TR1. Stop the counter, clear the timer flag 1, make TF equal to 0. Then repeat the same thing again. That is, restart the timer by using set bit TR1. That is SJMP again. So again and again the program is repeated. So this is how you are going to do the execute the result for the given statement. This is the figure that shows the timer with external input in mode 1 and timer with external input with mode 2. The only difference is here the AND gate that is shown in the figure gets the input externally, that is P3.4 or P3.5. So these are the pins that is going to be programmed. You are going to get a high pulse from these two pins, either P3.4 or pin number 14 or P3.5, that is pin number 15, in both the cases, mode 1 and mode 2. Remaining part of the diagram is same as mode 1 and mode 2 programming using timers. That is, only thing C/T is equal to 1, you are going to get a pulse from externally. Next topic is TCON register. That is, TCON stands for timer control register. So timer control is an 8-bit register. 8-bit register. So remember, we have discussed T-mode register previously. Now we are discussing TCON register. T-mode register is not a bit addressable register. It is also a 8-bit register, but it is not bit addressable. Whereas TCON register is also 8 bits, but it is bit addressable register. It is a 8-bit register which is bit addressable. So the diagram is given. It is a 8-bit register. The lower 4 bits out of that 8 bits, the lower 4 bits are set aside for controlling the interrupts bits. So about interrupts we are going to discuss in module number 5. So during that time we are going to discuss the bits IT0, IE0, IT1 and IE1. So the lower 4 bits are set aside for controlling the interrupt bits. But the higher bits, higher 4 bits, the upper 4 bits are used to store the TF and TR bits of both timer 0 and timer 1. As we have already used TF1, TR1, TF0 and TR0. That is, to start the timer and to stop the timer, we are using timer 0 and timer 1, that is TR0 and TR1 bits of the TCON register. So these are the bits TR0 and TR1 are used to stop or to start the timer for timer 0 and timer 1 respectively. Similarly, TF0 and TF1, these are the timer flag bits we are going to monitor. Already we have done the programming in mode 2 and mode 1 and mode 2 in timer and counter modes. So TF1 and TF0 are used to monitor the timer flag. So this is a TCON register which is 8 bits. So TCON register, as I already told you, it is a bit addressable register. The equivalent for the timer control register, whatever we have previously used, the instructions similar to that one. For timer 0, if we want to use set bit TR0, same way we can also use set bit TCON.4 because it is present at pin number bit number 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 TR0. So we can use to set the TR0, that is to start the timer 0, we can also use the instruction set bit TCON.4. Similarly, to stop timer 0, we can use clear TR0. Instead of that one, we can also use CLR TCON.4. Similarly, set bit TF0 is same as set bit TCON.5. Clear TF0 is same as clear TCON.5. Now for timer 1, set bit TR1 is same as set bit TCON.6. Clear TR1 is same as clear TCON.6. Set bit TF1 is same as set bit TCON.7 and clear TF1 is same as clear TCON.7. Now we are going to discuss the case of gate 1 in T mode register. Until now, whatever we have discussed previously in timer or counter programming, the gate bit was 0, meaning that the timer or counter is started with the help of software method. That is, we use set bit TR0 or clear TR0. These instructions we have used to control the timer. That is, to start the timer or to stop the timer, we used the instructions. So for that one, we have used the gate bit equal to 0. But what happens if gate is equal to 1 in the T mode register? So whenever gate bit is made equal to 1 in T mode register, that is, when gate is equal to 0, the timer is started with the instruction set bit TR0 and set bit TR1 for the timer 0 and timer 1 respectively. So we are discussing now what happens if the gate bit in T mode register is set equal to 1. So as you can see it from the figure that is shown in the slide, if the gate is equal to 1, the start and stop of the timer are done externally through pin P3.2 and P3.3 for timer 0 and timer 1. As you can see from the figure, that is INT0 pin, that is pin P3.2 and pin P3.3 for timer 0 and timer 1 respectively. This is in spite of the fact that TR0 or TR1 is turned on by the set bit TR0 or TR1 instruction. This allows us to start or stop the timer externally at any time via the simple switch. As you can see from the figure, INT0 pin, that is pin number 3.2 or pin number 3.3 is used to start the timer or stop the timer externally. So this is the hardware way. That is, when gate is equal to 0, that is the software way. Now the gate is equal to 1 is called as the hardware way. So this is the hardware way of controlling the stop and start of the timer, which can have many applications. For example, you can assume that 8051 system is used in a product to sound an alarm every second. So if you want to produce an alarm every second using the timer 0, so In addition to this one, many other applications it is going to be used. Timer 0 is turned on by the software method by using setbit tr0 instruction, and it is beyond the control of the user of the product. However, a switch connected to P3.2 can be used to turn on and off the timer. So the pin P3.2 and P3.3 is used to turn on or turn off the timer. So as you can see, the gate bit is 1, then P3.2 and P3.3 is high, then your OR gate will be high. If gate bit is 0, it is going to be use a software method. Thank you for watching the video.